This is not a drill. The off-season is in full swing, and it's getting a little bit absurd. So absurd that role swapping is already coming, and it's not between two random players or not so popular players that don't have huge impacts on their team. We're talking about G2, we're talking about Fnatic, and the potential of a role swap with Perkz shifting to AD carry because the MVP from the summer split in caps, the face of Fnatic behind Reckless, is coming over to G2, and with that, you're looking at a roster with the two best carries in all of Europe on the same squad, and a role swap initially, I know it sounds absolutely insane, but if you're going back to the summer split, you remember Perkz was putting up some ridiculous numbers on these AD carries when funnel comps were in. This is when G2 got to their 6-0 start. They looked like probably the best team in EU along with Misfits. Obviously, those numbers are absolutely disgusting and skewed because of that's how the funnel comp works, but even in context to the other carries that were running these funnel comps, Perkz' numbers were far and way ahead of whatever they were putting up. He had almost 1,000 more gold than I believe it's Caps, who was second at 15 minutes. So even when everyone was styling on people with these funnel comps, Perkz was doing it in an even more disgusting fashion, and he's shown that clearly he has the mechanics to be able to play an AD carry and, you know, multiple different roles or multiple different champions in that bottom lane. If you've looked at his OPGG for the last week or maybe even longer, I think the last 12 days, he's been playing only AD carries. So right now, this is just a rumor as reported by ESPN. There's nothing official between Fnatic and G2. Of course, the likes of Ocelot are tweeting some juicy memes about the topic. Even had Yarnin on Twitter kind of questioning the validity of this, or he was confused. Maybe someone didn't tell him if this is actually happening. But if it does happen, it makes a little bit more sense than it would initially. When you first hear this, you're just absolutely flabbergasted. Perkz has also been playing AD carries in these in-houses that I'm sure you've seen a lot of the popular EU guys have been streaming, and they've been really exciting to watch. He's been going in the bottom lane a lot with Mickey, or Mickey X from Misfits, who, by the way, is a free agent, and it's also rumored that G2 are potentially looking at signing him to their roster as well, which, again, only talking about potential and rumors here, would leave G2 with a lineup of Wonder, Jankos, Perkz in the bottom lane, Caps in the mid lane, and Mickey in the bottom lane. And that sounds like a team that could completely dominate Europe. Who knows if this is going to come true, but if it does, where does that leave Fnatic? Who can they bring in that mid lane? Does Bwipo just role swap to the mid lane, and then maybe you end up keeping Soaz in that top lane and run with that roster? Or maybe they're bringing in someone from NA, some other EU free agent. Power of Evil comes over to Fnatic maybe. Froggen comes to Fnatic. There's still so many people that are available. But on paper, Caps going to G2 just seems absolutely insane. And if it is true, then like I said, you have the two premier carries in all of Europe and maybe two of the top three in the entire Western scene. So if that is the roster G2 runs with, there's no reason that they shouldn't get back to their dynasty form of winning back-to-back LCS splits.